How's your core doing, ladies? Now, the first thing to say is that you absolutely do have one. But if you've just had a baby relatively recently, or even if you had a baby years ago, it might not feel that way. Often we feel that we lose our core strength after pregnancy, and that's because our muscles have separated, okay? It's what's known as diastasis recti, and that can present itself in a number of different ways. It might just be a niggly lower back, it might be that feeling of weakness, maybe your tummy muscles want a dome or cone, or maybe you feel that you're still looking 4 months pregnant even though you no longer are. I'm going to talk you through exactly what diastasis is, how you can check for it yourself, and what to do about it if you do find yourself with a tummy muscle gap. Now, the first thing to say is that diastasis is completely normal. Your tummy muscles have to move apart in order to make room for that gorgeous baby that you're growing when you're pregnant. They don't necessarily want to spring back into action immediately after birth, and being aware of this is really important because that's going to influence how we move and how we look after our body postpartum. Now, I myself was left with a gap of about 3 to 4 centimetres in my abdominals after my second child was born, and my core is now stronger than it ever was pre-kid. So the first thing to say is, if you do find yourself with a diastasis, not to panic. But come with me and I'll show you exactly how you can check for yourself. And so the first thing you're going to want to do is bring yourself down to lying somewhere comfortable, okay? Get rid of any thick jeans or thick waistbanded clothing. You can absolutely use your hands to lower yourself back down. And you want to bring yourself so that you are lying flat on your back, knees are bent, feet are just kind of tucked in towards your bottom, shoulders relaxed on the floor, okay? Absolutely, move any waistbands down out of the way because we're going to be feeling down that stomach. And what I'd like you to do is take one hand, place it behind your head, and just use that to gently lift your shoulders up off the floor. We're not coming in to a high sit-up, a high crunch. We're not pressing any pressure down into the abdominal. Certainly if you've got a stomach muscle gap, we don't want to add in any intra-abdominal pressure. We don't want to push into that pelvic floor, but we want to come up so that the muscles are connected and we're feeling tension. And then you're going to take your fingers and you're going to place your fingers in the direction of your pelvis, and we're going to be feeling down at this midline. So then once you're in your elevated shoulder lift, you're going to use your fingers as a measurement tool, feeling down that midline, feeling down that linea albia, and checking the muscles either side, just above and just below the belly button, seeing if there's anywhere where those fingers can sink in between. It might be 1 finger, 2 finger, or even wider. And you want to also see if you can feel the tension of those rectus abdominis either side. And so once you've done that self-assessment, you've got a note. If you have found yourself with a bit of a stomach gap, anything 2 fingers or below is considered normal anyway, okay? As I said, we're not checking just for the size of the gap, but also to see how much tension you can bring in there. Can you feel that connection? If you're at all concerned, if the gap is any bigger than 2 centimetres, I thoroughly advise that you get yourself along to a women's health physio or a qualified postnatal PT such as myself, who can advise you further on the things that you can do to help bring those muscles back together, but also what you can do to avoid exasperating and making that gap any wider or aggravating any symptoms such as lower back ache. And so I really hope that that was useful, guys, and helpful. Remember, your body has done the most remarkable thing. So be kind to yourself, give yourself grace. And if you have got a diastasis, help is out there, support is out there, and you can absolutely have a strong core once more.